If you struggle to grow your chest, in this video, we're gonna be breaking down the best chest exercise you can do to get the fastest results. Like, we're gonna be ranking every chest exercise from G to D, which sounds odd, but it's because G is for GOAT and D is for, I'm not gonna say what, but you can imagine. So like any of these ranking videos, we're gonna give you a bit of a basis on how we're gonna score them. So number one, we're gonna base them off stimulus to fatigue. So pretty much how much fatigue for the stimulus do you get? So how much beat up do you feel? How much taxing is it in the joints for what you actually get? Number two is the range and exercise profile. Does the exercise actually make sense? Does it work the muscle the way it's supposed to be? And does it work it through a good range of motion? Number three, weird one, but learnability and consistency. Can you learn the movement easy? Will you do it week on week? And can you be consistent with it? Will you set it up? Is it gonna make you injured? Is it gonna hurt you long term if you consistently do it? Number four, my personal experience, my results. Do I enjoy the movement? Have I benefited from it? And number five, after coaching about 1,000 men on a one-to-one basis, what are the best result-driven movements they see? So what have I seen with their programs, how they respond, the feedback they've given me over the last 10 years. So you're actually not just getting my opinion, you're getting all theirs with the results that we produce. And I'm gonna give you context, how you can program this for you, what I've done with clients, how you can fit it into whatever you're doing right now, so you can grow your chest as fast as possible. The only thing I'd love for you to do is if you could like, share, subscribe, it would mean the absolute world. It motivates me and lets me know that I'm on the right track. And if there's anything you'd rather me do to improve or make a video on, just drop below. I'd love to help. So without further ado, let's get into this. Let's grow your titties. Jesus Christ, I'm like a 12-year-old. So up first we have, I cannot believe this is first, stand press, which is where you're gonna get a plate and you're gonna press like this. This is gonna go in the D tier. The reason being is your elbows are close together. Usually you'll get a nice feel, but you're never gonna be able to overload this. It's not gonna grow your chest. Anybody that says it does is lying to you, I'm afraid to tell you. Number two, we have a low to high cable fly. I'm gonna put this as a B. The reason I'm gonna put it as a B is I do believe that a lot of people bring in biceps, they struggle to get the form right. So from a learnability perspective, I think most people struggle to learn the movement properly, and it can be very hard to overload over time. Maybe could move up if you've done it in like an incline bench, but for the moment I'm going to put it in B. We have a one-arm chest press machine. Unlike your actual arm movements, when I think doing biceps, triceps individually makes a lot of sense, but doing a one-arm dumbbell, a one-arm chest press, doing even the side machine, absolutely insane. It has to go in D tier. It's not going to be easy to overload. Maybe from a stability standpoint, sport specific, but from an aesthetic standpoint of slowly building your chest, it's not the one, it's D. Around the world fly, sometimes you'll see like influencers do this where they do this big fly motion and it looks cool and it can even give you a good stretch, but this has to go in D because it makes absolutely no sense in my opinion. It probably feels like I'm slapping every movement, but like I'm just being honest. We have a dumbbell hex press, which is exact same as a stand press. It just doesn't make sense. If anything, it works more triceps. It's more like an isometric. You're not going to grow from it. We're going straight to D. Jeez, this is a lot of Ds. Right, now we've got a good movement. We've got barbell bench press. I'm going to put this in A. The reason I'm not putting it in G is because I do find that people pick up niggles if they do it wrong. It's harder to learn. It's a great movement for your chest. Some people just don't connect with it, and I think because it's overhyped, I think it's slightly overrated. Great movement, but a lot of people need to move away from it, and that's my honest take. Great movement. Most of my clients love it, but there's the odd one who gets emotionally attached. It's just not the one. It's not the one. Not the girl you marry. Right, next up we have incline dumbbell press. I'm not going to do flat dumbbell press, incline. I'm just going to roughly give you this. Incline dumbbell press. Look, everybody needs to work their upper chest more. It's a great movement. You can play around with the angle of your elbow, which means you can align it more of the upper chest fibers because you want the elbow slightly tucked, not at this angle, not at this angle, flared. You want it probably about 45 if I was to say, and that aligns beautifully and it's going to help you grow your upper chest. I think just my personal experience, how much I love the movement, it's got to be a G. Like I don't know anybody who really dislikes this movement, picks up that bad of niggles. It's everything good with bench press without the bad, the small things that people get wrong or the fixed movement path of the barbell. So yeah, look, love bench, love incline dumbbells, two great movements. I spot everywhere there, just came out, I apologize. We have a cable seated D handle fly. Now, I'm going to give this an A. This is a great movement, probably one of the best exercise profiles. It's going to feel better than a machine fly. The only reason it's not G is just simply from the fact that it is so awkward to set up. It's going to be awkward to get into position. The odds of you wanting to set this up in a cram gym is just not going to happen. I'm going to be honest. I set it up sometimes, and even certain programs will be like, I'm not programming that because it's a great movement. I love it, but I just cannot be asked to set it up. I want to be in, I want to be out, I want to train hard, I just lose my flow. You have to put a plate behind the machine sometimes or behind the seat so it doesn't fall back. And that leads us into cable D handle press, which I'm going to rate the exact same as an A for the exact same reasons, because you'll need to put a plate behind your seat so it doesn't fly back because the weight can drag you back. That is the only reason they go there. Next up, we have a machine fly. I'm going to put in G. The reason I'm going to put it in G is just simply from the fact if it's the right machine fly, like a Prime or a Life Fit, the connection is great. And as long as you don't bend your elbows too much, you're actually doing the movement properly, you're focusing elbows together, it fully shortens the pec, which is one of the best things you can do, and it gives you tension throughout the entire movement. G, go. Right, we've got dumbbell flies. I'm gonna put these in C. The reason I'm gonna put them in C is, out of all your fly movements, this is the very last fly I would do. The only reason I would do this is if I don't have any other option to do a fly variation, because you only get tension at the bottom part of the rep, not really the top, because the way it actually aligns. Oh, interesting one, right? We have Smith press. I'm gonna put this in A as well. The reason I'm gonna put a Smith press there is because I actually believe it's a little bit better than a barbell. You can hit failure easier, but I just noticed it like the barbell. A lot of people will pick up niggles because it's a fixed bar path. There's no real freedom in it, and sometimes it's just a bit too straight for an individual. Great movement. There you go. Right, machine press. This is so variation because it depends on the machine press. You have some Prime knotless, you have some unbelievable chest presses that are a G, and then you have some chest presses that are like a D. For me, if you pick the right chest press, it's unbelievable. It's the best thing you can do. I would probably put it at a G, but because I can't vary it by what you have, I'm going to put it at an A, because there's so many variations and a lot of people can't do it properly in terms of get the right movement. They end up with some per chest press. General rule of thumb is if it moves from the bottom, like if it pivots at the bottom, it's usually not a great chest press, it's average. If it pivots from the top, so in other words, if the arms move from the top, it's usually better. Right, we have chest dip. I'm going to put this B. I think it's a great movement, but it's very tricep heavy. I feel like a lot of people get injured on it. Most people don't need to work the lower pec as much. It's volume a lot of people don't need to put in. I haven't programmed this in a long time for myself. I think it's one of the movements I would program for enjoyability, and if you really enjoy it, can move up, but for me it's a straight B. We've got a pack deck. I would actually argue this is slightly better than a dumbbell fly, but I noticed that just the position a pack deck puts you in, because it's elbows, I'd probably put it like a C or B. I think a B is probably good because you do focus on elbows together, not hands, but it's that range is very delicate in the shoulder, so that's the reason we're going to put it at B. We have press ups. Look, I'm going to put press ups honestly in the B tier. The reason being is I think if you can overload press ups and you can get somebody to put weight in your back, you're going to be able to put these in A or G. But the problem is most people will never be able to load press ups enough that you can feel within a 6 to 12 rep range. If you're a beginner, unbelievable movement. I love press ups. Like I actually just love the pump. For a long time there, for like a year and a half, I've done 50 press ups every morning just for consistency, just to build my mindset, like just to get blood flowing in the morning, because I love press ups. Like I think they are the GOAT in real life, but from a building chest perspective, they're probably like a B. Weighted, you can move them up, but are you really going to have somebody put weight in your back each time? We have a landmine press. Do you know where you put the barbell here and you press up? Sometimes you'll see it in the Smith as well. This has to be one of the worst movements you can do. This has to go in D. It just makes, it's like a slam press, a hex press, it just makes no sense. Reverse grip bench press would probably be, I think this is a B. I think as long as your elbows aren't too tight, it's probably a B. The reason being is it feels good, you're going to connect nicely with it. I just don't see how it's really good or really bad. It just falls in that middle range. It's something I would never program. So from that sense of the word, that's where I'm putting this. Now you're probably thinking, where is flat dumbbell press, decline dumbbell press? And we're going to do decline dumbbell press, decline presses now. I'm going to put them in a B tier. Great movement. Goes up to A if you have any shoulder issues. The reason it goes up to A is it will protect. If you ever notice you get shoulder issues, it's really beneficial to do decline press. It just causes way less strain up here a lot of the time. So it's a really good swap in. So if your shoulder issues, it could go up to G, but for me, it's a B. Dumbbell pullover. Look, I'm going to put this in a C. I really don't think this is a chest movement. I think some people connect with it. Some of my clients are like, I get a good squeeze in it, but to me, it's a lat movement. So like, I would even be tempted to slide down to D. I just cannot cope with the volume of like comments I'm gonna get. I love this. It's a C. The only reason I'm not is because I love Arnold and he used to do it for chest. So look, we'll let it sit there. We have a high to low cable fly. I'm gonna put this in B. The reason I'm gonna put it in B is because I think it's really hard to eventually get the weight where you can actually do it. If you were to do it seated and it wasn't awkward to set up, you could move it to A. But I think a high to low cable fly feels unbelievable. But we all know that struggle of like lifting the weight down, and eventually it gets to the stage where you can't really do it because you end up having to like maneuver yourself into an awkward position. A lot of cables are too wide. You want short cables. So you could go with A here. It's definitely not G, but I'm going to slide in B. Good movement, and I think that's a fair rating. Guillotine press, where you press to the neck. Like I'm going to put this in C. Some people connect really well with it. I'm not a massive fan. I think you have to be very skilled to do it. You be very careful with it. I think it does work really well if you do it right. I've had a lot of coaches who recommend it, but for me personally and my clients, I never program it. I think the risk to reward ratio is way off, and it's just not a movement I connect really well with. Trying to figure out if we've got any other movements, but I think in reality that is the large majority. And if I was to pick a couple, like 2 movements I could only do, would be a machine fly and an incline dumbbell press. They are the goats. After that, we're looking at machine press. They're sort of the 3 I would lean towards. We are really stable during them movements. You're not in a fixed arm path like a barbell for the pressing. However, you still want to be supported, which you are. I just find I get the most bang for my buck. My clients do. I get great results with this. You can continue to overload it. It just makes a lot of sense. So machine press, machine fly, dumbbell incline, they are my goats. They're the ones I love. If you're going to program them throughout your week, you could do just them 3 movements with 3 sets of each or 2 sets of each, and you would grow substantially. But I think, honestly, throughout the week, you don't need as many sets as most people think to grow your chest. What you need to focus on is the strength. Usually, if your chest doesn't grow, and it's not about more and more sets, it's about better quality, not always more. So remember, better is better, not just slapping more. Consistency over time is key, just getting stronger strength. That is all that matters now. That's when you're progressing, you will build tissue, and if you're doing too much, you will struggle to recover and struggle to build that muscle. And that's what we want to focus on. Look, really appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching this. Bit of a different one. Comment below if you disagree with me. I'm happy. I'm open to options. Big love. Thank you so much. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Big love.